So we've parked up on this main road that walks down to Wells on Sea, and it's really nice. It's an absolutely stunning day. We just parked opposite the co-op, and there's another motorhome there, so I'm not sure how long we can stay or if that's all okay. But there's a little duck sleeping up here. But I just saw a space. I went to a car park on the front, which my sat nav took me to, and the head height was wrong. And there was a lady sat there, and she was enjoying the ambience, and she's shaking her head, and it said 2.2. I do need to write down the height in the cab, so I've got it to hand. But that was definitely a no-no. So it was lucky. She was the only nicest one that actually told me that I couldn't go under, because everybody else was sat there just staring. So dogs are just having an emergency wee. But what a beautiful, tranquil spot this is. There we are, just opposite the co-op. Obviously a quiet neighbourhood here. But I'm so impressed. It was a good journey. But I just can't wait to just walk on the beach. It goes quite a long way, and there's a holiday caravan park opposite the beach. What a pretty spot this is. Oh look there. Oh my goodness. I think we've done well. I love this little house with the duck outside. And then I saw this phenomenal house. It really needs to be on Grand Designs. What a super property. And they've put the clematis falling down from the front of the ship, so it looks like a waterfall effect. I was just blown away. It had portholes at the side. I've never seen anything like this ship house. What an amazing house. This was our walk down to Wells by the sea. I couldn't believe it. What do you think of this? So unusual. Absolutely fantastic. So to me, the bins are an absolute eyesore. I really couldn't tolerate looking at those after spending all that money on designing a really unique property. I had a bin store at my old house, and I tell you what, it's so much better than looking at ugly bins. It makes a bit of more of a hassle to get them out, but you wouldn't want to spoil that, would you? We had the most gorgeous weather when we were here, and we carried on walking right down to the beach. And my dogs were in the pram for safety for themselves, and also they have to rest from time to time. The beach front, wow, the beach goes on for miles. This is an amazing coastline. I couldn't believe how far the beaches reach. I didn't get a picture of that horse that stood in the water, unfortunately. Sometimes you just have to keep going, but a really pretty little spot. This was much quieter at the harbour, and then we did the big walk to the end of the beach, and I tell you what, it is a long walk. We have to keep going, but there are two paths, a high path and a low path, and you go right to the very end. And it was a beautiful day for it, absolutely stunning. And you chat to people along the way when you're walking, which does break up the journey. But it was well worth it. And then when we got to the very end of the walk to the beach, I saw there was a car park, but it was absolutely rammed. I wouldn't say I'd go to the beach again with the dog-friendly beach, because it was just a pretty much nightmare for me. But it was an experience, and I was so disappointed that people don't help you at all. So as a woman getting on in years with two dogs, a pram to lift. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, dogs in a pram, but it is so practical, and they do get really hot, tired. They've got tiny legs, and people aren't so careful, and other dogs come rushing up to them. They don't like it at all, but people just don't help. And I'm not being funny, but in Whitby, anybody helps, everybody helps, but not here. and you have to go up some really steep steps to get to the dog area, and then back down steps again. And obviously everybody's rushing to get to the beach, and it was a nightmare. So you'll be able to see us when we get to the beach soon. But just enjoy this fantastic harbour. I definitely spend time here. For some reason I went into slow-mo, but it means you get to enjoy it all the more. The beach cottages, well, they aren't cottages, are they? They're beach huts, were beautiful. There were so many of them, so we took shelter in the shade at the side of the beach. We didn't walk to the water's edge too far. That again, it's a long walk, and there are plenty of people who tend to set up camp at the edge for privacy. But what a scalding hot day. We couldn't have picked a better day, although my dogs were very hot. Can you see how far out it goes? It's incredible. But everybody gets quite a lot of space. But as you know, somebody always comes to play ball right in front of you. It's a bit Baywatch, isn't it, watching everybody in slow-mo? So we were here for just an hour, and then I decided to make a move. I didn't want to attempt the steps when everybody was going home, because it is really difficult. You have to wait your turn and then head up quite quickly. A nightmare for people with disabilities. It's a definite no-no. So we headed back and we met a little caterpillar, and then we hit the shops, which were fabulous. Beautiful independence with so much variety and some lovely things to see. I really enjoyed it, and there were some vintage cars going up and down the front. They were a joy. Every time I got my camera around, I missed them, but they were beautiful and they really made my day. Everyone was pipping and waving at them. They were so sweet. I love to see old-fashioned and vintage things, and the cars were so pristine. They were absolutely cared for. So let's head back. What would you call your beach hut? There were so many unusual names. I would be lost for choice trying to think of a good one. The one I was near was called Stay a Longer. I thought that was good. I wonder how much these cost. There's the pram. I'd love doing up a beach hut. Adorable. I think this one should be called the Lookout. I wonder if there are any restrictions. That's really high, isn't it? It's got to be pale blue though for me. Seashells. A nice kettle. A couple of gas rings. You're just set up, aren't you? I'd so want to stay overnight though. Dogs never settled, as you can see. There's nothing like the sand between your toes though. Just such a good feeling. It's a beautiful sandy beach. So soft. Such a lovely family time. There are a group of girls in front of me. Caterpillar time. Oh, wow. So this is our evening stop off with the cows.